You're probably wondering, how big of an impact can sleep training really have on our family? Yes, our baby is not sleeping well now, but is sleep training really going to make that big of a difference? If we don't do anything, won't they just eventually figure it out? That is exactly the question that my former client Chelsea came to me with, and I'm gonna let you in on exactly what I told her. Hi, my name is Jensine Casey. I am your sleep BFF, and I bring my years of experience as a pediatric sleep consultant and pair it with my degrees in early childhood to bring you real life strategies to get your baby to sleep through the night. So today we're gonna walk through Chelsea's story, exactly where she started out and how sleep training literally transformed her life. I'm sure you have heard that a lot and you've heard big promises from a lot of other people, but these are real life things that are really happening for real family just like yours. And I want you to be able to experience all of the things that Chelsea experienced too. Because without sleep training, she never would have been able to get her son to sleep in a consistent way that she felt really good and really confident about. So I'm gonna walk you through kind of her exact words. So I am telling you exactly what she said, and I'm not putting any words in her mouth. So when I first met Chelsea, she came to me and her son was 7 months old. We'll call him T. So she came to me, T was 7 months old, and she was saying he was giving them a lot of trouble, and her husband didn't see eye to eye on exactly how to approach his sleep. She knew that she did not want to do cry it out. She knew that she would be okay doing a cry it out method, but her husband, was absolutely against it. And they wanted to find a way to get a happy medium between the two. So the first thing that I want to point out is that sleep training is not cry it out. She wanted to find something that was different than cry it out, but still fell under the sleep training umbrella so that they could make a change and actively be helping their son learn how to fall asleep easier and to stay asleep through the night. So she gave me a little bit of a rundown on his medical history, that he was born a little bit early, and that currently he was waking between midnight and 1 a.m. every night and having a feed. He would fall asleep during that feed, but then she could not get him back into the crib after that. And it would take about 1 to 2 hours from that midnight or 1 a.m. feed to get him back to sleep. So that's taking us to about 2 or 3 a.m., maybe even a little bit later. And then he would wake up sporadically after that time and cry about every 45 minutes until it was time to wake up in the morning. And she said, this just is no longer sustainable for us. There is no way that I'm gonna be able to keep doing this for any longer because it's impacting me, it is impacting my work, it is impacting my life, it is impacting my relationship with my spouse. And if any of that sounds familiar, then you need to keep watching and give me a like so you can know that it's not just you. There are plenty of other families that are going through this exact same thing. You are 100% not alone. So after I got to know Chelsea's story and kind of everything that was happening, we were able to come up with a plan. We could put a plan together for exactly how to move forward. And that was the best part about it, that this plan was very individualized to Chelsea and to T. So it talked over their family schedule. Ideally, what time did they want him to wake up and did they want him to be in bed? What could a nap situation look like? He went to daycare a couple of days a week. So how was that going to vary from the days that he was home with a caregiver and then to the days that he was home with them on the weekend? So we walked through kind of what those different expectations would look like during the day. After I walked through all of this with them, we were able to really get a clear understanding of this is what we're going to do every single night. Night by night, I walked them through. On night 1, this is what you do. This is what you say. This is where you are. This is how you respond. If this happens, this is what you do. So all of my sleep plans are very incredibly detailed because I don't want there to be any guesswork for you. I don't want you at 2 a.m. to be reading through my sleep plan and still having questions. I want you to have everything that you need in that moment to be able to get through, feel good about what you're doing, and feel like you are very responsive to your baby's needs and supporting them as much as they need without doing any of the work for them. So Throughout the process, we were checking in, we were making sure that everything was working, the strategies are working, we were starting to see improvement. And I'm gonna go through at the end exactly what she said after we wrapped up our 2 weeks together, because I, again, wanna say it in her words, but I just want you to know the power of what having someone else come in and give those strategies to you means. It means that you're not having to do any of that 2 a.m. Googling. It means that you can feel comfortable and confident that all your questions are going to be answered and that you're not going to be left in the dark about any particular situation. It means you're going to know exactly what to do every single time your baby wakes up. And it's going to mean you know exactly what time to wake your baby up in the morning and not feel like, ooh, should I wake them? But they were awake during the night. Should I wait? Should I not? There are no questions. You feel confident in every single sleep situation, even more so as the days go on, as you're getting more and more practice, and your baby is responding. They are starting to sleep longer stretches. They are falling asleep much easier at bedtime. They are staying asleep over an hour at naps. So it is so transformative what sleep training can do. So I'm going to read you exactly what Chelsea said at the time that we ended together. So she said, before starting, we were stressed and skeptical. Nothing else was working. I was out of ideas and nothing was changing. So I felt like I had nothing to lose, and the potential to even get a few more hours of sleep was very attractive. During my initial call with Jensine, I honestly was feeling like a failure, but I couldn't handle whatever was going on with my son's sleep. It was embarrassing for me. The most helpful part of the process was being able to discuss and make adjustments. In addition, education was also valuable. For example, understanding why my son was waking up a million times after we first put him down at night. So now that we don't have you holding our hand, at least I have some idea as to how to support his sleep. We knew the plan was working when I could actually count on when my son would nap. Now I can plan our family schedule around his naps and it makes life better, easier, less stressful for all of us. So I do want to point out one thing that she said. She said that having the education was also valuable. Understanding why her son was waking up a million times after we first put him down, so that when I wasn't there to support them, they would have some idea of what to do. And that is a big piece of my programming, because I want to ensure that you feel secure and you feel empowered when I am no longer there. I don't want to come in and do this work for you, because when I leave, I want you to know how to help your child get back to sleep and to keep them on that great sleep track that they are on. Because if I do all the work and then I leave, you're not going to have that education. You're not going to feel empowered to be able to make these decisions in the moment if you didn't have to do them initially. So even if you don't work with me in any of my programs, and you are struggling with sleep, I urge you to find someone or something that is a support to help you get through this and to help your family find a sustainable situation for you. Going months and weeks and years without sleep is just not good for anybody. It's not good for you as a parent. It's not good for your child. They need that sleep to build a healthy immune system, to grow and to develop and to thrive. And we do too. To be our best parents possible for our children, we need to take care of ourselves and make sure that we are getting the adequate sleep that we need each and every night. So again, if you're not coming through any of my programs, I urge you to find that support somewhere else. So if you have any questions about Chelsea or her son T's story, you can pop them in the comments. If you have any questions about how to work with me, go down and follow the description. There is going to be options for free guides that you can get access to, as well as how to jump into any of my Goodnight programs. The last thing that I want to mention that she did not mention was crying. She did in the very beginning. We talked a little bit about how she was okay with going the cry it out route, but her husband was very adamant against it. If you or your spouse or a partner is also feeling kind of that conflict of, we know we need to do something, but crying is not our friend, crying is not something that we feel comfortable with, I want you to go up to the pinned video in my channel. It's going to talk you through all about crying in relation to sleep training, what you need to know, what's important, why even crying is helpful in sleep training. I know that might sound opposite of what you think, but crying does have a very important purpose in sleep training. So I want you to go to that video, watch the whole thing, and then you will feel much better about engaging in sleep training or trying some sleep training with your child. So I will see you over there.